you eat more food and lose weight? Genesis 1:29 says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat." Everybody's weight loss goals, it's all going to look a little different, but it's all going to boil down to one thing. We've got to eat less calories. Yes, it's the bad word nobody wants to hear. But we've got to eat less calories and/or we've got to burn more. Today, I want to talk about how we can eat more food and feel full for longer, but keep those calories at bay. So the first thing that I like to think about when I think of how to eat healthy and to keep me full is let's look at whole foods. So take, for example, we have a pepper, orange bell pepper. We have a banana. And we have a green apple. My husband loves the sour apples. Me, they need a little caramel, but that is not less calories. So I go for the red ones in the fridge. So anyway, let's get back to what we were talking about. So I believe that the easiest thing to do to kind of start with helping to limit my calories is eating whole foods in their natural form as much as possible. Think pretty much any fruit, any vegetable. If you're going to do meats, you want the wholest piece of lean cut meat, minimally processed. I know that the cutting itself is a process, but it's better to have a steak than it would be to have either the hamburger or ground up and trying to think of, like sausages or even like beef hot dogs. The further away from the original form it is, the more processed it is. And usually through those processing steps, a lot of the vitamins and nutrition and minerals and the fibers, those are all cut out. And that is where we get the most bang for our buck in our foods. So another thing I want to talk about is nutrition. So when you think of everything that you have the possibility of eating, I always look to the foods that are going to give me the most nutrition in the smallest quantity. I bought the book Eat to Live by Dr. Joel Fuhrman, MD, and he had an equation, and I'll have to find that and put it in the description below. But he talked about basically he considered a nutritarian diet. It was typically the way that he ate. And again, it was more of looking at every single food that you eat, getting the highest amount of nutrition for the lowest amount of calories. So things like whole grains, you would eat, actually I believe the steel cut oats are closest to the original form, and then the rolled oats, and then the quick oats. So you're going to get the most fiber and the most protein and the most nutrition out of those steel cut oats because they have been the least processed of those three that we mentioned. So I always think about what foods I'm going to eat, what I will get, again, the biggest bang for my buck, and then try to go on the lowest calorie version of that. Also always look to what I call bulk foods. So you want to look for those foods that are going to fill you up and keep you fuller longer. And that's any food with high fiber or even high water content, because the water will fill you up for a while and will fill your stomach. I know that there are so many thoughts on the healthy fats and healthy oils, and I'm just going to put this into perspective. So 1 serving of oil is typically 1 to 2 tablespoons, and in that serving there are 200 calories. But if you think about, say, broccoli or cauliflower, those are very low calorie foods. So to get 200 calories of broccoli, that could be like almost a pound of broccoli. So do you think a huge plate full of broccoli is going to fill you up versus that tablespoon or two of oil? And you look at how that bulk food is going to set in your stomach. So your stomach is full of broccoli, and then there's this little bitty line for the oil. And I've seen these pictures, and I'll look for that as well and put a link to a graph below that gives you an idea of what that actually looks like. So another trick that is up my sleeve is I look for foods that are high in fiber. So if they have a package, you can look on the package and it will tell you how many grams of fiber are in each serving. So even if I look for pasta, I try to go to either the whole wheat pastas or the bean pastas, and those typically are definitely higher in protein and they're higher in fiber, and anything that's going to keep your belly fuller longer will help you eat less calories over time. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about today that ties right into that fiber is the satiety of a food. What is going to keep you satiated and full and keep you satisfied? Those are the things that I like to think about eating. Blackberries and strawberries and raspberries and blueberries and blackberries. Those all have, I would say, 20 to 30 calories on average per serving versus your apples and bananas and oranges. Those are typically 60, 70, 80 calories per piece of fruit on average. So you can get fuller on some of the lower calorie foods faster, or for the vegetables, your green beans and your asparagus and your broccoli and cauliflower and greens, kale and collards and Swiss chard and romaine. I don't typically put iceberg lettuce in the mix because yes, there's no calories, but there's not very much nutrition in that as well. So, but all of these things will help to keep you fuller longer. So tell me in the comments below, what does good nutrition look like to you? What are the things that you look to when you're trying to think about really honing down on what you're eating? So tell me, what does your plate look like? Please like this video if you enjoyed watching this, and leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions for how to eat and feel fuller longer, and give us your tips and tricks for getting back to your health and fitness goals. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and do please share this video with anybody that you know that would enjoy this content. I thank you so much for stopping by, and I wanted to let you know that next week we are going to be talking about healthy eating for weight loss and getting more into what types of foods to eat and how to eat. And soon I would love to do either what I eat in a day video, or just go through some of the meals that I make, some sample meal plans, and just give you an idea of what I'm looking at as far as healthy foods, and then you can give me your suggestions of what you think I can do better. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.